few names have case more terror in the human heart than Dracula, the legendary vampire, created by author Bram Stoker for his 1897 novel of the same name, has inspired countless horror movies, television shows, and other blood-curdling tales of vampires. Though Dracula may seem like a singular creation, Stoker in fact drew inspiration from a real-life man with an even more grotesque taste for blood. Vlad III, Prince of Wallachia, or as he is better known, Vlad the Impaler, a name he earned for his favorite way of dispensing with his enemies. Vlad III was born in 1431 in Transylvania, a mountainous region in modern-day Romania. His father was Vlad II Dracula, ruler of Wallachia, a principality located to the south of Transylvania. Vlad II was granted the surname Dracula, meaning dragon, after his induction into the Order of the Dragon, a Christian military order supported by the Holy Roman Emperor. Situated between the Christian Europe and the Muslim lands of the Ottoman Empire, Transylvania and Wallachia were frequently the scene of bloody battles. As Ottoman forces pushed westward into Europe, and Christian crusaders repulsed the invaders or marched eastward towards the Holy Land. When Vlad II was called to a diplomatic meeting in 1442 with Sultan Murad II, he brought his younger sons Vlad III and Radu along. But the meeting was actually a trap. All three were arrested and held hostage. The elder Vlad was released under the condition that he leave his sons behind. Under the Ottomans, Vlad and his younger brother were tutored in science, philosophy, and the arts. Vlad also became a skilled horseman and warrior. According to some accounts, however, he may also have been imprisoned and tortured for part of that time, during which he would witness the impalement of the Ottomans' enemies. The rest of Vlad's family, however, fared even worse. His father was ousted as ruler of Wallachia by local warlords and was killed in the swamps near Balteny, Wallachia, in 1447. Vlad's older brother, Mircea, was tortured, blinded, and buried alive. Whether these events turned Vlad III Dracula into a ruthless killer is a matter of historical speculation. What is certain, however, is that once Vlad was freed from Ottoman captivity shortly after his family's death, his reign of blood began. In 1453, the city of Constantinople fell to the Ottomans, threatening all of Europe with an invasion. Vlad was charged with leading a force to defend Wallachia from an invasion. His 1456 battle to protect his homeland was victorious. Legend holds that he was personally beheaded his opponent, Vladislav II, in one-on-one combat. Though he was now ruler of the Principality of Wallachia, his lands were a ruinous state due to constant warfare and the internal strife caused by feuding boyars. To consolidate power, Vlad invited hundreds of them to a banquet. Knowing his authority would be challenged, he had his guests stabbed and their still twitching bodies impaled. Though Vlad is widely credited with bringing order and stability to Wallachia, his rule was undisputed vicious. Dozens of Saxon merchants in Kronstadt, who were once allied with the boyars, were also impaled in 1459. The Ottoman Turks were never far from Vlad's thoughts or his borders. When diplomatic envoys had an audience with Vlad in 1459, the diplomats declined to remove their hats, citing a religious custom. Commending them on their religious devotion, Vlad ensured that their hats would forever remain on the heads by having the hates nailed to the diplomats' skulls. During one of his many successful campaigns against the Ottomans, Vlad wrote to a military ally in 1462, "I have killed peasants, men and women, old and young, who lived at Oblusica and Novosilo, where the Danube flows into the sea. We killed 23,884 Turks, without counting those who we burned in homes or the Turks whose heads were cut by our soldiers. Thus, Your Highness, you must know that I have broken the peace." Vlad's victories over the invading Ottomans were celebrated throughout Wallachia, Transylvania, and the rest of Europe. Even Pope Pius II was impressed. But Vlad also earned a much darker reputation. On one occasion, he reportedly dined among a veritable forest of defeated warriors writhing on impaled poles. It's not known whether the tales of Vlad III Dracula dipping his bread in the blood of his victims are true, but stories about his unspeakable sadism swirled throughout Europe. In total, Vlad is estimated to have killed about 80,000 people through various means. This includes some 20,000 people who were impaled and put on display outside the city of Targovist. The sight was so repulsive that the invading Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II, after seeing the scale of Vlad's carnage and the thousands of decaying bodies being picked apart by crows, turned back and retreated to Constantinople. In 1476, while marching to yet another battle with the Ottomans, Vlad and a small vanguard of soldiers were ambushed, and Vlad was killed and beheaded. By most reports, his head was delivered to Mehmed II in Constantinople as a trophy to be displayed above the city's gates.